Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Melina's looking stunning, darlings. Gotta fix this dress. Sorry, guys. I'm careful, so I don't want YouTube to think I'm being risque at all, at all, at all. I have too good of a channel, guys. And I'm not even interested in being risque on YouTube because I feel like if you don't even get paid for your adult entertainment on YouTube, and I think the people that don't know about, the whole rules, that's the people that usually fall for the situation that happens. But the funny thing is, I know people that have had their channels taken down so many times, and they keep putting up channels, and their channel gets taken down again because you didn't change the policy on that. So I don't know why you would put up videos that you know are not going to work out. Obviously, you would have been told initially when you're doing the videos that children do see these channels and that it's not allowed, and so you would think that the person would be like, oh, well, I'm not going to do that then. But I mean, I love their channel because I love that kind of stuff. But well, obviously you have to follow the rules. But yeah, so I'm like, but I'm very supportive of them. But I'm like, wouldn't you have learned the first 5 times? I don't know how they got their channel back that many times, but they did. Um, but I'm happy with them. They're nice. They're great. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I learned from it the first time. As soon as I got my first 2 channels, well, it was the second time. The first time I didn't realize. The second time I kind of didn't realize, but then I learned. I'm like, well, I'm thinking, the people that watch it are going to be adults, obviously. I'm not worried about that. And then, of course, obviously, kids do see it, and you have to be very, very careful. Obviously, you have to make sure people that are adults, obviously the adults, they're not worried about the adults seeing it, but they're worried about the kids seeing it because kids watch YouTube all the time. So I'm like, I learned, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And the person that I'm talking about that didn't do that a million times, it's like, okay, obviously you have to follow the guidelines. After the fifth time, you think you would have learned. I'm not even sure if they had more channels. I don't even know if they had other channels, or maybe they had not learned it before, even longer. I don't know, but I'm like, well, you're attractive. Everybody likes your channel, but you have to make it so that it's PG, so that you can have it up there still. What would be the point of having a non-PG channel or a risque channel when you know it's going to be taken down a million times? Like, wouldn't you be worried about breaking the law? Like, for me, I like to have a PG channel because I don't want to be worried about any issues with law or anything like that. Like, if the channel is risque and you're doing videos, I'd be worried about breaking the law. Like, you don't want to make it risque because children will see it, and YouTube has already told you that. I'm sure this person must have been told a million times that that's not allowed. So I'm like, well, and I guess maybe they're fighting for maybe the rights to have it be more risque. Because a lot of people want YouTube to be risque. A lot, especially like even like celebrities or whatever, they want YouTube to have more of an edge and have more of a risque thing because that's how they perform. Especially a lot of female singers and a lot of male singers, they don't want to have to follow any rules. But I mean, and I'm sure they're not thinking about the kids that are watching. They just want to focus on the adults, which makes sense. But then you have to really realize that YouTube just doesn't want their policy like that, and that's up to them, right? So you have to just go with it. But of course, I like risque channels, but I'm like, oh no, they're gonna be gone, obviously, because you're like, well, they're gonna be gone, but you're like, well, that sucks. Anyway, guys, click that subscribe button for Melina. Looking fabulous, darlings. Looking at my nails, they're pristine, darlings. Okay, bye. Thank you, guys.